Hey guys, real quick, only 40% of our viewers are actually subscribed, so let's change that right now. Hit that subscribe button right below. All right, Sunday Night Football. Seattle Seahawks 38-14 win over the Commanders. Seahawks move to 6-2. Commanders fall to 3-6. Dominant game from Seattle.
Yeah.
It was 31-7 at the half. Sam Darnold was 16 of 16 with 4 touchdown passes in the first half. He slowed down in the second half. Finishes 21 of 24 for 330. That's 13.8 yards per attempt. 4 touchdowns. Did have a pick in there as well. And then Seattle's defense, just another great job slowing down Washington. Of course, Jaden Daniels also broken arm or dislocated arm.
Dislocated elbow with
elbow.
Yeah.
So he's not necessarily out for the season, but very bad injury, ugly injury. And that happened when they were down quite a bit in the 38-7 in the fourth quarter. So obviously some questions about that as well.
Yeah, I mean, it was an absolute beatdown from start to finish, really. The unfortunate thing from Washington's point of view is that, like, Jaden Daniels was the only positive thing that was happening for Washington at all. And even that was not close to being enough. Like, at one point, he was accounting for some ridiculous percentage of their offensive output. It was basically just he would either scramble or maybe deliver a pass to somebody relatively short. And that was the only thing they had going for them. Meanwhile, deep into the game, Seattle was averaging like 10.5 yards per play. Literally every play they ran, they were getting a first down.
Crazy.
On average, more than a first down. Everything they were doing was working. Washington's secondary is not good to begin with. And the touchdown, one of the touchdowns to Torrey Horton, it's like, how did he end up one-on-one with no safety when the safety was there? It's because the safety's just looking at JSN. He's like, they've decided we're going to try and take away JSN, which itself didn't work, right? 8 catches for 129 yards on 9 targets. So it's not like even that part of it was successful. But like the safety on that side of the field is only focusing on JSN to the degree where they just let Torrey Horton like run right by Mikey Sandersville and score. That's like that. I mean, this is just terrible defense.
And then you have the touchdown that Sam Darnold threw to Elijah Arroyo up the seam, which I thought was a great throw. And I didn't know if the broadcast was going to see it, but Chris did point it out. He goes, that wasn't the open guy. If you look at the bottom of the screen, JSN smoked Trey Amos. And Amos came out multiple times with an injury. I don't know if that was affecting him, but JSN was wide open for a walk-in touchdown there. So easily could have had, 9 for 140 or whatever. And a score. So, yeah, everything Seattle did,
and that
Washington
touchdown,
had no answer.
The Arroyo touchdown came after Washington fumbles a kick return. It's
right.
Like everything's going against Washington here.
Right. So, Seattle completely dominated.
They false started on a 4th and 1 that they were going to go for because they needed to, and that backed them up. They had to kick it away. Then Seattle scores again. You're like, now it's 28-0 with still like 5 minutes left in the first half.
Ty Okada had a really nice
Amazing
interception when Jaden Daniels threw it. He's just Seattle has added Eamon and his athleticism to the secondary over the last few weeks. Okada's really
power.
Yes.
That play where he ran through Traylon Burks.
Traylon
Burks is 225 pounds. Traylon Burks is 6'2", 225, and Nick Eamon ran through him like he was a blocking sled, and on his way through, grabbed hold of the screen player and took him to the ground. Like, that's an absolutely crazy play.
So between him, Okada, and he's a really athletic player. They've just got some athletes on the back 7, fierce front 4, do a really nice job, stunts, twists, creating indecision up front. And when we talk like what the Bills did, meshing their pass rush and their coverage unit, that is a Mike McDonald staple. Those types of defenses, the McDonald Minter type of defenses, and Seattle is executing it at an extremely high level. Plus, Washington's beat up. They have Traylon Burks, taking significant reps at wide receiver right now. So they're hurting right now, and it's from a Washington perspective, from a team building perspective. We talked about, hey, they probably overachieved last year. They went all in with the Laramie Tunsils and Deebo Samuels of the world. They don't have a lot of draft capital next year. They didn't have a lot of draft capital this year. It's an interesting spot. Just throwing the season out. They're 3-6 right now with a hurt Jaden Daniels. Looking ahead, it might be tough for Washington, who went all in for this season, and they're not getting their reward.
And they brought it up on the broadcast last night. The biggest problem is they're the oldest team in the NFL by a significant margin. Like this is not a team that's sort of demographically designed around a young quarterback. This is a team that suddenly has a young quarterback and is like, oh, let's bring in all the veterans and win right now. Like, this is not a long-term sustainable type of roster. They need to get younger fast.
Of course, people are bringing up Jaden Daniels gets hurt with about 7 minutes left in a 38-7 game. Should he have been in the game? Normally I don't care because it happens all the time. Then, a guy gets hurt 1 out of 50 games. And so if you're going to be upset about that, you have to have the same level of being upset.
I mean, it has to be a policy then that any time the game gets remotely out of control, you pull everybody, because otherwise you're risking this.
And you can't. It's football. You can't pull everybody. Starters have to play.
So you're risking
you
somebody.
don't have enough players.
Right. So you're risking somebody through this type of injury by leaving them in the game late again in a game that's been done for a half.
My only thing with Daniels, though, this is now the 3rd injury this season. And the 5th in the last 2 years or 4th in the last 2 years. I mean, he has dealt with injury issues. You could call this a freak injury, whatever, but he ran the ball 10 times, got sacked 4 more times. He does take a lot of hits. And we always talk about QB's health. It's not just a frame perspective, it's a playing style perspective. And do you take a ton of hits? And then, some guys seem to be more durable than others. Like Wentz gets hit a lot and he gets hurt a lot. Josh Allen gets hit a lot. He doesn't get hurt a lot. So I think you have to know who you have. Anthony Richardson gets hurt a lot, gets hit a lot, right? So you have to know who you have. And so I think it's a case-by-case basis. If you have a quarterback, like Brady used to stay until the end all the time. They'd go quick pass game, get rid of it, and he would generally stay. He's not going to go run and lower his shoulder in a game.
But that's the difference.
I'm not saying, by the way, I'm not saying Jaden Daniels did that. I'm just saying stylistically your quarterback – know who your stylistic quarterback is, and then you make the best decision based off that.
The way he was playing the game in this game relative to, a guy like Brady who would stay in and play that way is, I think, significant in terms of making that decision to pull him out or not. Like we said before that it was like he was the only guy, he was trying to do it all by himself, right? And he had to because he was the only guy capable of making any plays for Washington in this game. But late in the game, we're like, there's no plays to be made. I mean, he's trying to do this all by himself, and even if he does, we're going to lose by 15. Like, what's the point here? And you are risking getting hurt because of the way he's playing and trying to do it all by himself and trying to outrun a guy at the goal line and try and fight through a tackle. Like,
when you have receivers who can't get open against a great defense, there's a lot adding up that says maybe he shouldn't have been in there.
Given the way he was playing, I think you can make a much stronger argument than a lot of quarterbacks to say, look, let's just get him out of here and protect him from himself.
Now, obviously, it's easy in hindsight. If you wouldn't have the same reaction if one play didn't happen, right? You wouldn't have the same reaction. But, tough one. So it's a dislocated elbow for Daniels. Not necessarily season ending, but we're sitting here in week 9. They're 3-6, unless they sneak, and they have a tough schedule coming up. And so
I would imagine they are viewing the season as done at this point.
I would think so.
But I would think if they're not, that's a mistake.
From Seattle's perspective, just love what they've built. Thought their defense had a ton of potential this year. I thought it was interesting that Chris brought up to Mike McDonald, what happened in Tampa Bay? Because remember, they got cooked by Tampa Bay's offense. And Mike's don't want to talk about it. Almost embarrassed by it. But, since that point, they've been
the defense was
lights
amazing.
Out.
Yeah, the defensive line was dominant. Leonard Williams looks fantastic. We already talked about Nick Imanwari. They talked about it on the broadcast. Rick Woolen has been benched because of the play of guys like Josh Jobe. Those guys are fantastic. Rick Woolen came in because the game was so out of control. Okay, he got flagged for a taunting penalty.
With injury too.
Right. And he got flagged for a taunting penalty, but he had a sequence of 3 or 4 back-to-back plays where he was delivering hits and shutting down screens and the short stuff that Washington wanted to run as well. And, they brought up this is a Pro Bowl player or a guy with a Pro Bowl on his resume. Guys languishing on the bench as, problem players in this defense or guys that were not seen as good enough anymore are now available as depth players for the Seahawks defense. They are in a really good spot.
Yeah, they've built impressive depth on the lines in the secondary. Ernest Jones did get hurt for Seattle, just something to keep an eye on there because he's been
rolled up on. Yeah,
he's been an impact player for them since trading for him last year. So Seattle's 6-2. They've got. Do they have the Rams next week? Or is that 2 weeks from now? I'm sorry. They have the Cardinals and then the Rams. I cannot wait for Seahawks Rams.
Yeah.
They nothing against the Niners. still sitting here at 6-3. But Seahawks, Rams, going to be quite a battle in the NFC West. Both teams looking great right now.
Yeah, it's weird. It's like the haves or the have-nots in some divisions in the NFL. Like there's a few divisions where almost like 3 of the 4 teams look really good. Thanks for watching all the way to the end of the video.
Check the Mic is live Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday, so be sure to hit subscribe so you don't miss a video.
You heard the man. Subscribe.